It's Easter, and they already have the Christmas decorations up. Good grief. We're talking, it's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown. Hit it. It was 1986. Halley's Comet passed by Earth. Top Gun was in theaters. And the Peanuts gang complained about Christmas decorations encroaching on Easter on VHS for the first time. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me are two Totally Rad Christmas all-stars. My first guest, you'll know from the bodacious Tis the Podcast, it's Anthony Caruso. Anthony, how's it going?
Jerry, it's been way too long. Glad to be back.
It's been, I think our last episode was Beetlejuice on Halloween. So it's been quite a long time. It's good to see you, man.
I think next year's Raddies, I get the award for longest duration,
longest gap
for an unofficial co-host going missing or something like that.
I like that. I'm totally gonna make that up. That's great. Well, it's good to see you, man. You're
you too.
One of my closest friends, and so it does feel like it's been way too long. My next guest, you'll know as the Alamo City Santa. It's Jeremy Phelps. Jeremy, what's happening?
Hey, man, it is good to be back. I think it's been even longer since I've been on than Anthony's been, at least since I've recorded, anyways.
We recorded a lot early.
We recorded a lot early last year, but I don't think I've talked to you in a while. I haven't talked to Anthony in a long time, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, I think all three of us.
I'm glad to be here with you, Jeremy, too.
Yeah. Was the last Peanuts episode, I think we did.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do the Thanksgiving Day parade, but Anthony was, missing that day.
It's okay. Something happened with the audio, and so I ended up having to pull it anyway. So I got to go back and re-edit it, and it's just, So it is what it is. Life gets in the way.
Yeah. I know.
If I got paid for this, I'd make sure everything got done on time. But you know what it is. You know how it goes. Guys, it's great to have you. I'm excited to talk Peanuts with you because Peanuts are just so fun and so fantastic and witty and everything. But before we do that, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to hit me with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, you don't have to think too hard about it. So, what would you title a Hallmark movie starring Lucy and Schroeder?
You're looking at someone who doesn't watch Hallmark movies, so I'm going to defer to Anthony because he watches all of them apparently. Because I'm listening to a lot of podcasts about
them. I tried to think of like some kind of pun with Mozart or something.
Yeah,
Beethoven
or piano or something.
Beethoven's Last Symphony or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I can say about it.
Oh man, I like that. Joyful. I don't know. I can't.
I think how to get Fur Elise into a title, but I can't do it.
Fur Lucy. I don't know. Fur Lucy. No, that's terrible. Okay, well that's fine. That was a hard one. I know it's been a while. We're all a little out of practice, so I understand. This one's a lot easier. Let's recast Ralphie and the kids from A Christmas Story with the Peanuts gang.
Well, Lucy's got to be Flick.
Okay.
No, Flick. The boy. Who's the boy?
Oh, Scott.
Yeah, I think Charlie Brown's got to be.
I mean, he's got to be Ralphie, right?
Ralphie. He's got to be Ralphie. Yeah.
You could see Charlie Brown's sad face in the Easter bunny pajamas.
Yeah.
And Linus would have to be Randy.
Yeah. Oh man, Linus. Except instead of like the big old coat, it's his blanket like wrapped so tight that he can't move his arms.
Or we go with Linus as Ralphie and Rerun as his brother.
Yeah, I
could
could
see
see
it.
that too.
Yeah.
And then Charlie
but I think the other
Brown
one's
in that
better, though.
scenario would be Flick getting his
Would be
tongue
Flick.
stuck to the pole.
Yeah.
That I could see happening as well. So.
But if Charlie Brown is Ralphie, I'm going to say Marcy is Flick, and Peppermint Patty is the other friend who dared her to do it, because Peppermint Patty is the worst and forces her to do crazy crap all the time.
That's true.
As we'll see later on in this episode. All right. I like those. I like both those scenarios. I'm good with either one. All right. Finally, which 80s movie character is most likely to shop at Kmart?
80s movie character?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big net.
It is a big net.
I mean, if you're looking for the realistic answer, probably Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid.
And definitely not Johnny.
Yeah. No. Johnny wouldn't go to a Kmart.
No.
I like that though. I could see Marty McFly hopping into a Kmart real quick,
He'd be at Twin Pines Mall though.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Or the kid from Gremlins and Gizmo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Billy?
Billy. Mm-hmm.
Billy. Sure, that sounds good.
Billy Peltzer.
Your questions are getting harder every time you ask them, I'll tell you that.
Well, we're also all a little bit out of practice, including me. So
Yeah.
but that's great. That's just a way for our listeners to get to know you guys a little bit better. So thank you for that. Now tonight, we're here to talk about It's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown. I love this one. What do you guys like? What's your history with it or your experience with it? What do you remember about it? Why don't we start with you, Anthony?
So I remember growing up, this one was not as big as the other three, and I still feel like it's not. It's always kind of kept separate from Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving, which is a shame because this one is really good.
Yeah.
Though I would agree it's not quite at the quality. Like if I had to rank them, it'd be Christmas and Halloween neck and neck, Thanksgiving just below it, and then Easter just below that.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Linus is completely, though, different than he is in Christmas and Halloween.
It's like they just, there's no continuity. There's no characterizations. Like, let's just start over from scratch and see what happens.
But yeah, in terms of history, this one has not been a part of my canon as long as the big three, as I call them, are. But that's mainly due to CBS and other channels not airing it as much growing up. When it hit VHS or re-released on VHS or DVD, the early days of DVD, my mother picked it up, and then I would watch it every year. And ever since then, it's been a staple. And I say it for every holiday, but no holiday is complete until you see Charlie Brown and Snoopy celebrating it.
Agreed. Agreed. Jeremy, what about you?
Well, I also agree. There's, the big three. I call them the Charlie Brown holiday trilogy.
Yeah.
Those are part of, growing up. And I know I watched this probably in the 70s. I don't think I'd seen it since until I watched it for this, because I remember little bits and pieces when I was watching it. But, I was looking at Apple TV. There's a lot of specials that I probably watched once and never watched again. And I try to watch it before my trial runs out. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I remember certain little spots here and there, like the countdown to Christmas and Marcy cooking. But beyond that, I had no memory of this show, except that I know that I watched it probably like maybe 76 or 77. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm kind of right there with both of y'all. I remember watching this one in the 80s at least like 3 times. I know I saw it at least 3 or 4 times. And then I kind of lost it in the 90s. I'd forgotten about it until in the early 2000s. I picked up a collection of the Charlie Brown and caught it. And it's so clever. Like it's, if you think about Charlie Brown Christmas as a commentary on commercialism and everything being shiny and neat and losing the true meaning, this one really plays that up. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get there, but it's so fun and fantastic. And Snoopy and Woodstock are a dynamite pair, and Peppermint Patty and Marcy together. There's something.
I've got new questions about Marcy coming up here too. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what her ethnicity, spiritual background is. If she'd never heard of Easter egg, how to do an Easter egg. Is she Muslim? Is she Jewish? I don't
know. Or she just really sheltered.
I do have to say,
Jehovah's Witness, maybe.
I just to go back to the big three and this one.
Yeah.
While it may be slightly not up to par with those three, it is still leagues and bounds better than like the Valentine's Day special and the other Charlie Brown ones.
There's tons. Like the director of this one was Phil Roman, and he directed like 13 or 14 other specials, and that's not including like some of the ones before he took over as director. So
do we know if he directed Why Charlie Brown? Why?
That one I don't remember. I don't recall. I know he did Thanksgiving. He did Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. He did the Valentine's one, which was also up for an Emmy the same year because it came out like the same year as this one did.
That's crazy. I don't think that one is that good.
Well, but it was also the 70s. Like, what else was there, right? I mean,
yeah.
You know, but like, there's so many of these that I don't remember, like, at all. It's like, I'm waiting for it's a Nightmare on Elm Street, Charlie Brown, or
Why Charlie Brown? Why is the one where the little girl in the neighborhood gets cancer?
Cancer? Oh, yeah. That one's rough. That's a rough one. Yeah.
But what I love about all of these, and again, they're varying quality once you get past these the big four holidays, but they never pander to children. Like they are, like you were saying, Jerry, they're actually smart and have clever jokes in there, and a lot of background jokes too that only adults will pick up on.
It's true. It's so true.
And they just don't make specials like that anymore for kids. Like I look at modern Disney specials, and it's like, I mean, you've heard it on my show. I can't stand modern
we don't
Disney.
I don't need to hear about Anthony and Disney. I've been listening to a lot of the podcasts lately. So,
but in fairness, that complaint for me would apply to most children's media in general nowadays.
Oh man, So my kids are of the Paw Patrol, PJ Masks era, and while there are great things about what they teach and about conflict resolution, they're also very kid level. Like they're and you're right. There's something about the way that Charles Schulz wrote these kids that they're not really kids. It's like almost. I mean, they just have like this gravitas sometimes that the others don't.
Linus, usually,
and usually you're right. A lot of it has to do
not
with
so
Linus.
much this time with the Easter Beagle, but
well, like Anthony was saying, it's not really Linus.
Yeah.
You know how Mark Hamill had to pretend he was like Jake Skywalker for The Last Jedi? Maybe this isn't Linus. Maybe it's like Lino or something. I don't know.
Fairness, if they all came out different years, but if we were to say the four holidays happened the same year, you see Linus's own Linus arc by the time he gets to Christmas. And he has his own Linus moment. He goes from the immature kid who believes in the Easter Beagle and the Great Pumpkin to the one preaching the meaning of Christmas.
Well, we know this one. We know this happened after Halloween, at least, because Sally does
mention the Great Pumpkin
that she
fiasco.
That's right.
We said no continuity, but there was a little bit of continuity.
There's a little bit.
Later.
I mean, there's a little
just
bit
a little
of continuity, but it's like Rankin Bass continuity. It doesn't count. It's very vague.
Jerry, I just heard we're going to have to do the Charlie Brown cinematic universe where we plot up.
I'm in. Let's do this. We'll get it all going. We'll have the lines and charts and everything.
That sounds like fun.
So this this special premiered April 9th, 1974 on CBS, directed by Phil Roman. You were two? Wow. I was -6.
Almost three. So
that's cool.
I was 15 years from being born still.
Yeah, you were born the year I graduated high school. So yeah.
Also, just for Context here: April that year was 5 days after this special aired. April 14th.
Easter
Easter, yes.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't quite it was like right there, right during Holy Week and everything. So it was like Easter was right there. It was nominated for an Emmy in 75, and like I mentioned, it was released on VHS in 1986 by one company and then in 88 by another company. So that's my 80s connection, not to mention the fact that CBS showed it from 74 all the way through the year 2000 before they
and I somehow missed it most of that time.
Because it wasn't really like...
feel like they didn't promote it like the other ones.
Well, I feel like Easter as a holiday always has more like religious connotations than the others for some reason. Like, I mean, not nowadays, like Easter Bunny and all that, but I think at the time, like, I only remember them showing the 10 Commandments, like they would show the 10 Commandments around that time. And I don't remember very many other specials.
Or maybe one of those other movies like with Jeffrey Hunter or Greatest Story Ever Told, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Like Jesus of Nazareth, or I do recall, of course, Peter Cottontail, but the Rankin Bass and
does Schultz have a hand in writing this one?
I'm not actually certain. I think so, because I know he typically wrote. They at least drew from his stuff. So let's see here.
That's interesting then, because he, like you said, at that time especially, like Easter was more religious, and he fought to have the religious aspect in the Christmas one. So it's crazy to me he didn't try to do that for Easter if he was involved.
There was nothing religious in this Easter special
at all. Well, so at least according to Wikipedia, it doesn't say. It just says that it's based off of Charles, as created by Charles Schultz. So I'd have to go to IMDb to figure that out. I mean, I would think, right? Like usually he wrote them, didn't he? Or
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. IMDb says that he did write it. So it is strange that maybe they were like, well, you had your religious moment. Let's do something more fun and upbeat. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be it.
But it did still have some of Charles Schultz's like witticisms. So. We get the Easter decorations early. We get Marcy like not realizing how to do something, and Peppermint Patty being so exasperated with her. Like these are like classic Schultz tropes that are thrown in. That
I just need to reiterate my hatred for Peppermint Patty again. I had the Peanuts daily calendar at work, and every time there was a Peppermint Patty panel, I would have to post it in my Instagram story, ranting and raving about how she is the
worst. You're like, nope. So,
the true angry Anthony coming to light there.
Well, like, I mean, she invites herself over for Thanksgiving.
Egregious.
And then
she did on Thanksgiving.
And then not just herself, then she invites other friends over as well.
Half the neighborhood, yeah.
It's like, whoa.
And he complains that the meal isn't up to par.
Exactly. Like, okay, wait a minute. First of all, you don't know what their plan was. And he's a kid. He's not going to be able to cook a turkey.
Yeah, there was no parental involvement. So
And the cherry on top of the cake, because Marcy apologized for her.
That's right. That's right. It's like,
we're getting ahead of ourselves on that one, though. Don't we have that one coming up later?
This year for sure. We are doing.
It's on the schedule. It's on the schedule. Yeah.
Yes.
Anthony's name's not on there yet, though.
Well, God willing, Anthony will be on that, because that's a good one.
I would love to be on that one.
Anthony and I need to do all the Charlie Brown episodes. So
I think that
Charlie Brown crew for sure.
Yep.
So did you guys know the soundtrack was just released like a few days ago?
No. I did, because I had it pre-ordered on iTunes, and I was so happy I did.
Yeah. So March 21st, it was 2025. It was just released, remastered with like an extra bonus track. It's pretty good. I like it, actually. We also get a couple of bonus like Beethoven tracks, which I thought was or was not Beethoven. Was it Mozart?
I think it was Mozart they played on this one. Yeah.
The Easter theme, the main Easter theme of the special, is so catchy. I love it.
It really is. Yeah. I really liked this one. And when they're doing like the little dance together, I found that so fun, all those guys. But let's like dive into this, and we'll see where it takes us.
All right.
So-
Those are the best episodes.
Oh, I know. So the special begins with Marcy on her way to Peppermint Patty's house with a sack of eggs to color. And I love that they're not in a carton. They're just in a sack.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't even catch that, but yeah.
No. It's a big old sack with just a lot of eggs sticking out. And all I could think of was like, they're going to break. And now your sack is like full of salmonella. So, good luck, Marcy. You're you're gonna be throwing up for a long time. Oh man. But Peppermint Patty's mixing the colors when Marcy asks her,
Sir, how do we color the eggs after we fry them?
because Marcy, in her just completely, I don't know, dense way, doesn't know how to color eggs, or like you said, Jeremy, doesn't even know what Easter eggs are, apparently.
I know. Because she's not normally dumb, but she's definitely ignorant or naive in this situation.
Yeah, she's usually
that's
smarter,
a great
right?
point. She's usually the smartest one out of all of them.
Right. Yeah, she's
but especially
like
compared to Peppermint Patty, though.
She's like the Velma of the gang, right? A little bit.
Yeah. Or for more modern kids out there, Hey Arnold, they're like Helga and Phoebe on Hey Arnold. The two of them.
Yeah, that's for sure. But so I don't know, but in her mind, you got to cook the eggs, because you have to cook the eggs, and her first thought is, hey, let's fry these eggs. And
but how do you color them? Yeah.
How do you color them afterwards? Well, you don't.
but don't worry, she then realizes her error and then uses a waffle iron.
Yep. And it tries to use a toaster.
And that's a toaster.
The toaster, yeah. And it's just, of course, it's an egg. It's not going to go down in like the slot for bread. So it's just sitting on top. And I thought, if she smashes this in, like, cleaning that would be the worst.
Oh, man, for real.
But that's like the cold open. It's just Marcy and Peppermint Patty, and that's the gag. They always start with like some sort of little gag like that. And so that was this. And we get the title coming next, which I loved because it's Snoopy dancing around like these large colored eggs. And it's very Eastery, like right away. You just are sucked into the Easter. And I love it because there's some specials that we cover where you're like, I don't know where this is going. And this one right away. No, we're setting the stage. It's Easter.
What I like about this special too is there are not a lot of Easter specials out there.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We'll take what we can get at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it cuts to Lucy and Schroeder. And Lucy, ever the selfish wench, is saying,
nice word choice.
This is where boys have opportunity to give presents to pretty girls.
It's the gift getting season.
It's the gift getting season, yeah.
We've got another one of those great holidays coming up where boys have the opportunity to give presents to pretty girls. Big bags of candy and eggs and all sorts of things. It's a great time of the year to start getting things.
It's not a time for getting. It's a time of renewal, the start of spring.
Wrong. It's the gift-getting season.
What's the matter with you? All you think about is gimme, gimme, gimme. Get, get, get.
That's called survival, baby.
Lucy, man, I don't know. Like, there was a part of me when I was a kid that always kind of wanted her to end up with Charlie Brown, but he deserves better, I think. Like he needs that little redhead girl.
He needs that little redhead girl.
Yeah. And Schroeder is just like, hey, I know, I see you for who you are. I'm not letting this play out. So he just shuts her down. I like how he just shuts her down the whole time. Oh, man. We also get Woodstock in his nest.
Oh, man, I love their plot line here.
Yep.
Woodstock needs a new house, right?
I love how he has an elevator to get up and down from his, nest, too. He's a bird, but he has to go up the imaginary elevator without his wings flapping or anything.
Well, and later on, we see him climbing up the little, rope ladder.
The ladder. Yeah, but he's climbing on the bottom like he's a kid at, Chuck E. Cheese or one of those little old climb ups you used to do like at a theme park or something.
Yeah, like one of those rope ladders. And
Snoopy's just rolling his eyes at him.
But Go
I
ahead.
like that he needs a new house in general because, again, it leans into the spring aspect, the spring showers.
Spring
It's
showers. Yep.
raining. I love
hmm
that.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
his nest just gets flooded. So all he
Good
really
catch.
needed was like a roof. Just get a roof, guy, and you're good.
Yeah.
But Snoopy, as always, is a generous friend.
Yep.
He is. But I do love that Woodstock, like in a huff, right? He like just angrily leaves and he goes to Snoopy's doghouse, and Snoopy's just asleep because as he's, for some reason, the rain stops right in between his treehouse, his nest, and Snoopy's doghouse. There's like it's just sunny and bright on that side of the of the field or wherever they are, and so he like disturbs Snoopy, and I like how Snoopy grabs him and kind of like wrings him out like a washcloth.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So they go back to his nest, and Woodstock gets a little revenge by dumping out the water onto Snoopy's head. So it's Easter time. You got to have a little revenge.
Yeah, I don't think that's what the Bible
That's what it's
says.
all about, right?
Yeah, that's what Easter's all about, Charlie Brown.
That's right.
That's the Linus moment.
Oh, I think Woodstock. If we had a Woodstock moment, it's at the antithesis of Linus
That's
in
right.
every special. Woodstock really
Yeah.
was
That's
salty in every special.
That's
That's
right.
true.
Revenge must be swift and cool. Ruthless and swift. Meanwhile, at Charlie Brown's house, Sally's complaining that she has like nothing to wear.
No shoes.
No shoes. She
good
wants to get
shoes.
new shoes. And Linus and Lucy show up, and they invite them to go to the store with them. So I guess they were just on their way to the store, and they're like, "Hey, let's stop by Charlie Brown's and see what they need."
Well,
Which I don't
Linus
see
is
Lucy
also,
doing that. I would see Linus doing that more than Lucy.
well, Linus is also telling them all not to worry because, right, they all need something. He's like, don't worry about it because the Easter Beagle will take care of it.
That's
and I
right.
love that Sally still has a bad taste in her mouth from the
Yep.
Great Pumpkin.
Really?
It's amazing. She just doesn't trust him anymore. And the whole time she's like, I don't know. Like,
Easter Beagle?
Sure, Sally. We don't need to go to all this trouble. On Easter Sunday, the Easter Beagle passes colored eggs to all the good little kids.
The Easter Beagle? Are you sure, Linus?
I want to believe you, but I don't know. And it's
And Linus is like, the Easter Beagle won't let you down. Sally's like, yeah, but you will.
classic Sally. Yeah, Lucy wants to get like baskets and candy and eggs and everything.
I could go back to what Jeremy just said, what Sally said, that you will let me down. Linus has a habit of letting her down in all these specials. I don't know if you guys remember, it's Election Day, Charlie Brown, where they help Linus get elected school president, and he marches into the principal's office for all his campaign promises, and then comes out not having fulfilled any of them.
Any of them, yeah.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Sally's like, typical politician.
Well, also remember in that last one we did for that show when she mentions, you don't have to get me a gift, and he's like real snarky with her, like, all right, cancel that $10,000 diamond or whatever. He's just, I love it. They have such a cool, fun relationship.
They really do. And I like to, my own headcanon is 20 years down the line, they definitely ended up married.
I think they for sure end up together. Yeah. Although, did you see that version that James Gunn did? It was like a live action version of the Peanuts gang. Oh man. Okay. I'll send it to you if I can find it, but you got to watch it afterwards. It's hilarious. Yeah. And it's like typical James Gunn. So
I do remember the cutaway gag Family Guy did about Charlie Brown drinking at a bar as an adult after Snoopy died. Just getting drunk at the bar.
Oh, wow. That's heavy.
Your dog is dead, Charlie Brown. I missed that special. So at the discount store, they meet up with Peppermint Patty and Marcy, who are there to buy eggs because Marcy's ruined all those eggs. So first of all, Patty rats her out because that's typical Peppermint Patty. Like, yeah, Marcy, like genius over here, fried all the eggs.
Just a real quick question for you two.
Okay, go for it.
You are stuck on a desert island with either Lucy or Peppermint Patty for the rest of your life. Which one would you prefer?
Ooh,
Probably Lucy.
probably Lucy.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Also, she's a trained psychiatrist, so she can help me with my island fever.
That's right. But you got to have money. Money.
5 cents.
Cold hard cash. But I love it because this is like some of the most Christmassy part of this Easter special, which is funny to say.
This is like a Christmas special too. It's
really
perfect for your show because there's so much Christmas decor.
Because they go into the store and they're advertising this huge Christmas sale, and of course we get this great line like it's not even Easter and the Christmas decorations are out already. But like they have some great things. And Anthony, I know we were talking about this before. The sign, says that there's only
246 days left.
Yeah, 246.
Yep, which means it's April 23rd.
Which is after Easter
that year. Yeah. I was trying to look it up. In 73, it was still after Easter. I think it was in 75 when it would have been before Easter. So
that's a late Easter.
Yeah, Easter can be pretty late some years. But it's so like 246 days. It's funny because at the store, we're getting ready to close in about a week. And, one of the things that I always do to break the ice with customers as they're walking in is I always say, hey, are you ready for Christmas? And there are folks that are like, oh, always. But most people are like, oh, no, we just finished. And I'll say, well, it's only 276 days till Christmas or, whatever it is. So this is like a perfect line for me to use to try to get someone talking to me.
Well, this joke is such a Charles Schultz joke because the Christmas special is all about the anti-consumerism. So for him to put it in here, he would have hated the Christmas creep. If he thought Christmas creeped up on other holidays back then, he would hate today's society.
Oh man, it really does now. Christmas in July,
But he would also hate how Hallmark has made the Peanuts synonymous with every single holiday. Like he would hate how consumerism they've become.
Oh man, it's like that. My favorite joke of the Grinch is, maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store and you can buy that sign at a store.
The two most anti-capitalist, pro-Christmas, true Christmas spirit TV specials
are the ones
everywhere.
They're the ones that are most
the one making all the money, all the movies,
the most exploited. But I love it. So the decorations that we see as they're walking in, like there's just tons of these flocked trees, so they're all white. They have purple, red, pink, and gold ornaments on them. There's like little Santas and little elves on them. There's a Santa on a chimney in the background. We see Santa flying a sleigh in the background. And then all that's like in the background, but in the foreground of the background, even farther back is like garland, like green garland with like that's swagged with red bows. I mean, it is super Christmassy looking, and I love it. There's
wreaths when they're on the escalators.
Wreaths on the yep.
And Lucy has a great line here. I told you it was the gift giving season.
Just to hammer it home, right? Good old Lucy.
Yet Schroeder wasn't there to hear it, so she kind of was talking to deaf ears, I think. But
well, yeah, well,
or she tells everybody that
she probably does. I would bet she tells everybody for sure. Yeah, that's a total Lucy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sally tries on Easter bonnets, and then Snoopy tries on a top hat, and then they're just trying on all the hats and just having a blast. And
how big was the store, though?
It's a big department. I mean, it said the discount store, but it was more like a department store.
How many floors did they go down, up and down the escalator? How did they keep crossing paths every time they went down a different level? Snoopy should have been going down while they were going up, but they crossed every time.
Well, Snoopy does his own thing. Snoopy's gonna snoop, right?
He's got like a portal or something. I don't know.
Snoopy can teleport. I love that. What if Snoopy has like magic powers? Well, he does make Charlie Brown disappear, right? To turn him invisible in that one special.
I mean, he does have Doctor Who powers because his house is a TARDIS. The birdhouse is a TARDIS because look how big that thing gets on the inside.
Oh
yeah.
my God! When we see the inside and the bachelor pad that Woodstock turns it into,
I wrote that down. Bachelor pad.
My problem with that bachelor pad
the only thing
is,
it was missing was shag carpeting, right? I mean,
you always see those decorations and that furniture, but I never saw that stuff growing up. So where was that stuff in real life? It's only on TV.
It always reminded me of Genie, the inside of Genie's bottle.
Yeah.
Whenever we got to see the inside of Genie's bottle.
Yep. So they go up the escalator, and like you said, they pass at least a 48-inch wreath with a red bow and a candle in it. They get to the next level. We see Santa on skis by the sporting goods section. There's like an angel with the harp, a reindeer, or it could have been a moose with like, bauble ornaments on its antlers. I mean, this is the Christmassiest Easter special I've ever seen. So anyway, they go up the escalator again. We find more flocked trees. We see an angel choir, which I thought was gorgeous, and I kind of wanted it for my front yard. And then I wasn't sure if it was a Scrooge in red robes, like nightcap, holding a candle, or if it was like supposed to be the ghost of Christmas past. I wasn't sure what it was because it was blonde. It had like long blonde hair. So I'm not sure. But again,
that's usually Christmas past. Is usually the blonde one.
So then maybe that's what it was. Yeah. But it was great. It was so Christmassy. Sally finds these pink platform shoes. Loved it. They're sandals, but they're like huge, like just platform style
6-inch heels.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, Sally and her pimp shoes, just. And of course, Snoopy has some more shenanigans with the gumball machine. I love Snoopy because he just does his own thing, and he's like,
well, Snoopy would actually be a good friend here because he's got to buy Woodstock his new house.
He had an agenda. That's right. He was going to get Woodstock a new pad, and he succeeds.
Jerry and Jeremy, I'm up for a new pad. I need a new pad myself. If either of you want to go buy me a new pad,
I'm still trying to buy my own.
You live in New York; it's really expensive there. So
I'll do what I can. But I don't know. But then we finally see some Easter decorations. There's like flowers, there's Easter bunnies, these like Easter egg candies, and they're what's called peekaboo eggs. I don't know if you guys remember them. It was like you'd pick it up and it had a little hole and you'd look into it and there was like an Easter scene. And in this case, it was just like a scene of some pink bunnies. But Snoopy, because he is either magical or is on drugs or just has a great imagination. I'm not sure which one. But he actually imagines himself like them coming to life and him dancing with them. It was cool, and it was great the way that they animated it. Again, not quite as top tier as some of the others, but I thought it was really
still pretty. Nice. It was still good stuff.
Yeah, I did want one of those. Like watching it again today, it made me really want one of those peekaboo eggs again.
Did you go on eBay and search them?
I didn't. I ended up doing something else instead. I watched that movie. I finally watched it, Boss Level with Frank Grillo.
Oh, how was it?
It was good. I liked it. It was like, what if Groundhog Day was an action film? So yeah, it's good. Good stuff. So Patty and Marcy have their dozen eggs, and so they go. Sally is what? She's like super happy and overjoyed with her shoes. Linus just keeps harping on about the Easter Beagle, and Lucy is just completely frustrated with him about it. But Snoopy, at this time, finds the best birdhouse for Woodstock. And I do have a question. Where does Snoopy get money? Like,
I wonder where the money came out of, because he reached in and just magically, I wrote that down too. Like he had money in his pocket, but he's not wearing any clothes.
It's like Bugs Bunny powers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where it comes from. He won the decorating contest at Christmas.
That's right. He won first prize.
I'm wondering where he pulled it out of his pocket, though. Where was that? That's the question we probably don't want to answer.
That's right. I don't want to know where he pulled it out of. Let's but yeah,
and the decorating contest only works if we get what the timeline is. Did Linus learn everything after all this or before all this? See, now that we're trying to figure out the continuity.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Bring out the Charlie Day memes.
That's right. That's right. So Snoopy, he finally delivers a house. He nails it to Woodstock's tree. Woodstock has trouble getting in it, and so Snoopy, again being a great friend, gets his little like drill bit and just widens the hole. And Woodstock is just like, well, I'm not. I mean, I didn't fit. So I'm not getting in there. And Snoopy just grabs it and slams Woodstock over the head with it, trapping him inside it.
Kind of an abusive relationship.
I mean,
between both of them, though.
Is it kind of Ike and Tina a little bit, but also
Woodstock and Snoopy, Pepper and Patty and Marcy, Linus and Sally,
Schroeder and
Lucy.
Schroeder and Lucy, yeah.
Charlie Brown and everyone.
That's right. They're so mean.
Charlie Brown of the world.
They're so mean. Sally and Lucy Sally and Linus again are all talking about the Easter Beagle, and that I love Linus says the Easter Beagle is going to come dancing along. It's almost like he's picturing like Snoopy, because Snoopy dances. Yep. We know Snoopy dances.
Every Easter, the Easter Beagle comes dancing along with his basket full of eggs, which he hands out to all the good little children.
That sounds faintly familiar. I remember sitting out in a stupid pumpkin patch all night waiting for the great pumpkin to come. That was the worst night of my life.
This is different. That was Halloween. This is Easter.
Well, I don't know. I really want to believe you because I like you and I really respect you. But I just don't know.
The Easter Beagle will never let you down.
I know he won't. But how about you?
But this is where Sally mentions the fiasco with the great pumpkin. And I love Linus's response. He says, that was Halloween. This is Easter.
Well, that makes all this difference.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then we have more stuff with Peppermint Patty and Marcy. This is where she puts the stuff in the waffle iron and the toaster. She's even going to put them in the oven, which have you guys ever baked your Easter eggs that you're going to die?
No.
We've tried it a couple of years and it actually does work. And they come out perfectly cooked every time. So
interesting.
Yeah. But Peppermint Patty doesn't believe it's going to work. And so she screams and they head back to the store to get more. And they run into Linus. And you're crazy when Peppermint Patty thinks that you're odd. Like you've hit a new level of oh, okay, you're I'm out there. I've officially gone over the edge. Peppermint Patty is saying that I'm weird. So
yeah, it's not wrong.
Linus and his beliefs. It's so funny because he has this just firm, just entrenched belief in the Great Pumpkin and apparently the Easter Beagle. And you just can't convince him otherwise.
But he still knows the scripture.
But he knows the true meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
So, there's a plus there. But yeah, I just wrote, how messed up are you if Peppermint Patty thinks you're weird? That's
not wrong.
So Snoopy hangs Woodstock's house again. And this is where we see the whole bachelor patified house. And it was
huge. There are stairs inside there.
Where do the stairs
plastic
go?
Furniture. Yeah.
Woodstock has the giant headphones as he's lying on the couch.
Yeah. It's so 70s, right?
And that stereo looked like it came out of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally did.
It looks like how Greg Brady would have decorated the attic if he had money.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be Johnny Bravo, right?
That's the name. I was like, what was his name? Johnny what? Yeah, Johnny Bravo. But Snoopy, trying to find his friend and check on him, gets his nose stuck in that hole. And he, while trying to break free, he just completely destroys it. And I felt so bad for Woodstock.
But all the furniture's gone once it breaks.
How much did he spend on all that furniture? All that redecorated, all that effort. And
I loved that he had a high swivel chair, but it was just in front of the TV. It wasn't at a counter or a table. It was right by the TV.
I don't know what he was doing with his decorations, but it worked. I was all in. I would have hung out there for sure. Oh man, it's great. So they go back to the discount store and Snoopy runs into Peppermint Patty, and I love how she just thinks he's like a weird kid, a weird looking kid, right?
Yep.
Like something's wrong with his nose.
Yep. Yeah, that's a theme that's gone on for years with them.
Boy, that kid really can dance. And he sure knows how to make a girl happy. He sure is a funny-looking kid, though.
He has a very strange nose, doesn't he, sir?
Okay, Peppermint Patty, come on. Like,
well, I mean, he's
clearly
awfully
a dog.
anthropomorphic, so there's that. So
well, that's also true. Yeah,
he doesn't speak though.
She just accepts that he views himself as Joe Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yep, she doesn't see race or animal
Species.
Species, that's what it is. Yeah, she doesn't see species. Good for her. Yeah,
yep.
But we're back in the Christmas stuff at the discount store. I loved it. Again, I can't stop talking about it. It made me feel so great. I got all the Christmas feels from it.
But my problem is they activated a bunch of music boxes.
Yes,
and they start them all off, but yet they're all in tune as they play. When they end, they all stop it at the exact same time. And it should have been a cacophony of noise. Should have been at least 2 or 3 different songs. Instead, you got one song playing all of them perfectly.
It reminds me of the Hallmark ornaments, or like the little figurines that all play.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have 1 or 2, but if you have all of them, then they can each play different things.
Which they have a million versions of the Peanuts doing that.
We have some. Yep. we have some of those. I'm excited to see what the new one's going to be for this upcoming year.
Yeah, me too.
So there's that, but like, you're right. I mean, we all do it, right? We go to the Hallmark store and we're trying out all the different ornaments and okay, what does this one do? And
the ladies behind the counter, always their smiles become more and more strained the more buttons you push.
That's right. They're smiling, but like their eyes are like staring daggers at you. They're just but yeah, they wind up music boxes and then they all like dance. It's like she and Snoopy are dancing, then Marcy joins in, and it's lovely scene. But that's when they mention his strange looks. So Snoopy does he get a new house for Woodstock and goes to hang it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So he really is a good friend. He bought him 2 houses. So.
I will say this: he's a good friend. He is an awful dog.
Yes.
Yes.
To his owner.
That's right.
We'll find out in a minute.
He in a weird way, he's a little cat-like, right?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of independent. So he loves Charlie Brown, but also, does he really? I don't know. You can't tell sometimes with these specials. I mean, later on, some of the specials are a little more evident, but like, he's so mean to him.
Everybody's mean to poor Charlie Brown.
If you got a Christmas card, Charlie Brown, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Yeah.
Still one of my favorite.
There's 2 lists: the ones we invited and the ones we didn't invite.
We're on the do not invite list.
But like Patty, we cut back to Patty and Marcy, and finally Peppermint Patty is giving her direction. Like, look, we have to boil the eggs. Like, that's how you cook them. This is what's going down. But Peppermint Patty, thinking that Marcy's going to get it, doesn't realize, she's not like super specific. And so Marcy, in a weird moment, cracks the eggs and dumps them into the boiling water and ends up making like an egg soup, which, I mean, if you're going to eat it with like some General Chow's chicken is great, but for Easter's, egg drop soup's a little bit different there. So it's not quite what
you
you're
can't
looking
decorate
for.
it.
So I felt so bad because then they ran out of money. They didn't have any more eggs and they were like completely bummed. And of course,
and you think about that now, if you're wasting those kind of eggs at this economy with the way the eggs are pricing out, that's just a major ordeal.
Yeah, I mean,
it hurts a little different now.
Back then they were like
don't make me feel sympathy for Peppermint Patty here now, Jeremy.
Yeah. That's my job, man.
That's
evoke emotion.
We won't sink that low. But you don't have to feel bad for Peppermint Patty. Maybe for Marcy. We can feel bad for Marcy.
We'll feel bad for Marcy.
There you go.
Good compromise.
Yeah. So, but Lucy is like, she colors her own eggs. She boils them. She gets that all done. She's decorating them. And Linus is like, why are you doing this? The Easter Beagle's going to take care of it all for you. I already told you.
It's really a waste of time. The Easter Beagle does that.
Leave me alone. Don't bother me with your stupid ideas. Easter is very simple. You paint the eggs, you hide the eggs, and you find the eggs. And you know who's going to find the eggs? Me, because I'm the one who's going to hide them.
And Lucy, in her gift-getting mentality, hides all the eggs and makes like really perfect notes about where she's hidden them, right? I mean, she's like, she puts one down, she makes a note. She goes to hide another one, she makes a note. But I love it because Snoopy's behind her collecting them.
And I noticed, the eggs that she would lay down looked nothing like the eggs she was decorating.
Right.
And I've never been able to get an egg to color as well as they do on TV. Because, maybe it's because we use paws and, it never worked that well. But eggs always look kind of...
You got to use like those egg wraps.
See, I guess my parents were too cheap for that. So
we only did it once. Most of the time we just used food coloring. Yeah. And we just use food coloring with the kids here. But, they had back in the day in the 80s, they had like Voltron egg wraps, which, nothing says Easter like Voltron. They had like Smurfs and Snorks and Barbie and Rainbow Bright, and they were like little egg wraps, and you wrap them and all that stuff. So anyway, Snoopy's collecting the eggs. Peppermint Patty apologizes to Marcy Easter morning for not having any eggs or anything. And Sally starts yelling at Linus because she's like, okay, this is twice now you've gotten me.
I'm the laughing stock of the neighborhood. You've made a fool of me. Why do I always listen to you? Trust me, you said. Trust me. Trust me. Now I've been burned again. Never trust a man with a blanket. Get me my lawyer. I've been humiliated.
But wait.
What do we see in the distance?
Oh,
it's the Filmation Star Trek silhouette of the Easter Beagle. That's the first thing I thought when I was watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the cheapest animation ploy ever.
Well, I mean, it's very reminiscent of when he thinks it's a great pumpkin, right? And Snoopy.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Okay,
so Filmation and Star Trek were ripping off the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it all makes sense.
It's all connected. Charlie Brown's complaining about being alone. Lucy's excited to have the best egg hunt ever. And I do love how Sally says, never trust a man with a blanket. Get me my lawyer. She's just so mad. But Snoopy is there dancing away, hiding the eggs. And it's almost like Linus has in his mind Snoopy. Like he knows Snoopy is the Easter Beagle or something.
In this case, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe after the whole, Halloween thing, they came to an agreement.
Maybe.
But the egregious thing about Snoopy is he gives eggs to everyone except Charlie Brown.
Well, he did throw some eggs on the ground before he ever got to anybody, too.
Well, that's true. So maybe
if he wasn't wasting eggs, Charlie Brown wouldn't have got screwed. So
yeah, he's just like tossing them to like some random kid, right? Just handing them out, and he gives one to Woodstock. He like perfectly throws it in the hole of his house. I mean, it's great. Yep. And he shakes Lucy's hand as well. I thought that was fantastic. But there's just none for Charlie Brown. Nope. And he shrugs and grins and like we're supposed to be okay with it. But Marcy asks what to do, and Peppermint Patty says you're supposed to put salt on it and eat it. And Marcy, again, in atypical Marcy fashion, although she does pull a salt shaker out of her pocket, so like I don't know.
Yeah, where did that come from?
She just always carry around salt with her or something. Like I don't know. She just carrying around.
Maybe she throws it over her shoulder for good luck.
For good luck, I guess. Yeah. But she just salts the egg, takes a bite, and
says it's terrible.
Shell on and everything. So it's going to be terrible if you leave the shell on, Marcy.
But then we get a moment that is kind of historic for Peanuts because Lucy goes to confront Snoopy,
Yes,
angry, and he kisses her, and for once, she doesn't get really super annoyed.
that's true. Well, it's
Yep.
been 10 weeks. Linus
Yeah,
does
it's been
say
10
that
weeks.
it's
Yeah.
been 10 weeks and she's still moping.
Yeah. 2.5 months later, she's still mad. So we're talking it's summer vacation at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because that's what, 2.5 months probably.
Yeah, plus it's probably maybe in June.
So, yeah, for sure. But yeah, she's just like, oh, the Easter Beagle. It's like, what happened to get the iodine? Get the disinfectant. Oh man. Anyway, that's a special. It just ends like that. So,
Yep, it just goes to credits.
yeah, it's not the big like Charlie Brown Christmas finale where they all get together and just, sing. It's just it ends with the Easter Beagle and okay. But I liked it. I thought it was fun,
It was a good time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the music, I really liked the music in this one, the Easter themes.
Yeah, they were really good. When they were dancing with the music boxes, like that track's on the album. Yeah, they're really catchy.
I was kind of missing the Lucy and Linus thing though. It was they played in all the old all the classic specials, classic. But I was missing that. But it was still Vince Guaraldi the whole time. So
yes, Vince Guaraldi still did the music during this time. So classic composer. As we saw on your win. Did you win on that one? I think you did, Anthony.
Which one?
The Merry Melee.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
I think that was the one. Yeah. Okay, I do have a question. If you guys could be in this special, like, who would you be?
In this special, Woodstock, because I want his pad.
For sure.
I'd probably be Charlie Brown because bad things happen. I'm used to it. So
I wouldn't mind being Linus because he's actually right for a change in this. Like it's been a while since he'd been right. So I think I wouldn't mind being or Snoopy as well because he gets to go to the department store a couple of times.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. What would you guys say is your happiest memory or moment with this special?
For me, my happiest was just watching it again for the first time in probably 48 years. I got to relive the memories and especially one that'll actually relate to the next question. So I'll leave you hanging on that one. So,
Okay.
So I probably should have gone second. That's okay.
I just my happiest one was just watching this every year. Again, it's not a holiday until you see Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
I agree. For me, it was showing it to my kids the first time and just hearing them laugh at all the shenanigans between Snoopy and Woodstock. It's just great. I couldn't, that has to be it. But just like we have happy moments, we also have moments that aren't as good. And so now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a segment I call Gag Me with a Spoon, where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of the special. Not necessarily something we didn't like, just something we didn't like as much. As a guest, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene a little bit for us so we know where we are. And
I'm going to kind of cheat here because this does kind of tie into my last statement about, reliving the memories. And it's not even really a bad moment, but it's when Peppermint Patty is telling, Marcy how it's to be done, how to cook the eggs. She's like, these eggs are not to be fried, nor are they to be roasted, toasted, or waffled. And this moment sit with me because when I was like 16 years old, I was in my bedroom hanging out with my best friend, Todd. And he told me, with just the two of us, like, man, we got to have a party where we can get roasted and toasted. And then like a half hour later, we're in the living room and my mom's like, so Todd, can we go to this party of yours? The one we're going to get roasted and toasted. And he's like,
They heard.
So then I heard that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it reminded me of Todd. And it was just a good memory of an old friend I lost a long time ago. So
that's cool.
So it hit me in the heart and I liked it. So.
All right. What do you think, Anthony?
I'm going for a Peppermint Patty moment as well. And this part actually made me laugh, but I consider it the worst moment because it has to do with Peppermint Patty.
Of course.
It's when Snoopy's delivering his eggs, and Pepper and Patty's like, "Boy, that kid really can dance, and he sure knows how to make a girl happy. He sure is a funny-looking kid, though." And Marcy's like, "He has a very strange nose, doesn't he, sir?"
I love how she still calls her sir even after all these years.
Yeah.
It's like, I told you, don't call me sir. I also went with Peppermint Patty because, yeah, she's the worst. And this is Easter morning before Snoopy's handed out any of the eggs. And she's like, "I've seen this happen on holidays before. You look forward to being real happy, and then something happens that spoils it all." So, it's like, woof, you don't know the half of it. That's it's very true. But G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you guys think is the other half?
Well, if knowing is half the battle, the other half is making sure you have enough eggs. Especially now with this, how much they cost, you don't want to waste your money on them.
The other half is knowing never to trust a man with a blanket.
Ooh, good
I love
one.
that. That's a good one. Those are both way better than mine. I just said if knowing's half the battle, the other half is just buying your Christmas decorations off season for great sales. So.
That's a good one too.
Guys, this has been a lot of fun. I miss talking with you, and this special it was so warm and fuzzy, and I'm glad I got to really just reminisce about it with you. Tell me about your shows, anything else you got coming up. What do you want to plug? Why don't we start with you, Anthony?
Yeah, I do a show with two other people you've heard of this one before, Tom and Julia. Tis a podcast. Every week we cover a different Christmas movie, TV special, etc. all year round. Also host another show which every 2 to 3 weeks called DC Unlimited, where we talk all things DC, Batman, Superman, James Gunn's rebooted universe. So that will probably become more regular as the summer of Superman kicks off soon. So
I'm excited. I'm so excited for that.
me too.
And Guy Gardner's hair. So
Guy Gardner's hair. I mean, if anyone was going to do that hair, it was James Gunn.
Yeah, oh man! As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes.
Yeah, but can they get Superman right? They haven't gotten Superman right since like 1978. So,
Well, if anyone can, I feel like it's Gunn.
I think he can, and I think Henry Cavill just never got the chance to be the Superman that we wanted him to be.
Yeah, he was great. He just wasn't in the right movie.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. But yeah, definitely go check both of those out for sure. Jeremy?
Well, I used to be able to say you could probably find me on this show every other few weeks, but it's been a while, and I don't know if I'm going to be coming up quite as much this year yet, but I'll still be coming around here every now and then. If you're looking for Santa way off in the future, AlamoCitySanta.com, Alamo City Santa on Facebook and Instagram. And since this is going to drop before Easter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
End of April, if you're in San Antonio, RCW Mania is going to be at the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, and J-Wave is going to be involved with 2 title matches and a big tag team match. And I got a brand new blingy outfit coming. So come see me. Catch the Wave, baby. It's my Instagram and my Facebook.
I want to see a Santa outfit inspired by like wrestling. So
that's I've been in the ring as Santa, but just regular clothes, and I can't imagine. I won't wear my good stuff to do any real wrestling stuff because it just costs a little bit too much. Even and my beard costs a little bit too much to get too dirty.
Let's get some like sequins going on or something. I want to see that.
I've got a sequin vest coming for RCW
nice.
Mania. So
right on. Yeah. To check whatever, just check it all out. It's great. It's been too long. Yep. That's how long it's been since you've been on the show.
I'm a big fan of Tis a Podcast too. So yep,
right?
I
it's so good. It's so good.
Thank you.
And I understand not having episodes out all the time. The Ratties this year trying to organize it has been ridiculous.
I still have to take care of my parts for that too.
It's been really, really ridiculous. I wanted to scale it back, and it ended up being probably the biggest one I've ever done so far. So anyway, it's kind of my own fault, but it is what it is. So I missed my Tis the Podcast fix there for a bit, but then you guys aired like 2 in a week, and it was great. So, it's just good stuff, man. So go check out Tis the Podcast for sure, and catch the wave, baby. And guys, I'm going to say thanks one more time. And I'll end it with, on Easter Sunday, the Easter Beagle passes colored eggs to all the good little kids. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like having the greatest Easter egg hunt ever, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. I told you, it's the gift getting season. Later, dudes.
All right, Beagle, come down and we'll have it out. Come on, Beagle, put up your dukes. Oh, the Easter Beagle.